and I would put it on and record.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
I
birdie.
forgot to fix that recording on, so I will do it though. There are still people who come in here that I still record, that they
I
don't come
put it
on.
on and record.
Right. They don't come on to YouTube. So
Yeah.
still plenty of people that don't come on YouTube. But uh,
And then sometimes I can come on. I might maybe I'll have clips, and we can live stream that.
yeah, yeah,
I can do a clip from something, in which case that'd probably be fine. So who knows? Maybe I'll have a movie instead of showing the whole movie. I have 10 minutes from a movie, and we talk about that or something. Yeah.
yeah, and that's a really good idea too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hello everybody, welcome everyone. You're here for the Impersonal Life by Joseph Benner, and I'm gonna get that up and running on the Kindle, and we are. Believe it or not, I mean, it seems like we've been going a long time, but there's still a lot left of this. So,
We know what it is. We do a lot. We do a lot of jabbering.
yeah, which is good.
That's
I
very
mean, that's
good.
the point
He says
of it. The
he
point of it is,
suggested. That's
yeah,
that's what he suggests. He suggests you read a couple of lines and talk about it.
yeah, yeah.
That's what we're
So
doing.
that's what we're doing. Can you see it? Is that up on the,
No, not yet. But I'm first okay. Yes, let me see if it comes up now.
see what's
No,
going on?
no, it just says Lynn Johnson has shared a screen, but it's not shared. Double click to enter full screen mode. Oh, maybe
Wait a minute. Why is it not share? Why is it not sharing? I wonder.
I don't know.
Okay, I did this. I'm doing the stop share. I'm going to try it again.
Okay.
Start all over because they've put some little extra page in here now. Uh, okay, there's that. Now it's asking me, is this what you want to do? Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. I just told you that. So there's a little extra. There, is it showing now?
Oh wait, it was me. I had to double click on it. I did. I'm seeing it now. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah, but I have to do something about this. All the pictures are covering half of it. Hold on.
Okay, so if you go, I think, I don't know if yours will do this. If you go up to the top,
I can just move it. I just moved it.
okay,
I
because
just I just
there's
moved
a
it.
button that says show meeting, and then you could also show.
I just put my thing on it and moved it, so it's fine.
All
It's
right,
out of the
that's
it's out of the
good.
way. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, good. So we are on chapter 16, the Christ and Love.
All right. All right.
So would you like to read or you want me to read?
You can read. Why don't you go?
Okay. The Christ and Love. This is the Impersonal Life by Joseph Benner. And it is, you can get it free online on PDF or whatever. I just bought it from Amazon Kindle so that I could put it up like this. And it's got 5 books that go with it. It's like a whole 5 book series.
Right.
So, chapter 16, The Christ and Love. To you who fear that my words may destroy your belief in and love for the Lord Jesus Christ, I say, wow,
Yeah,
nearly
this was the part that I was waiting for.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You,
yeah. So this is good because yes, I do believe and love Jesus. So he says, for you that think that my words are going to destroy that, I say, nearly 2,000 years ago, when the process of expression of my idea had reached the stage where I can show forth some of my divine reality, in order to do this and to recall to my human attributes their mission on earth, it became necessary to express through a human personality and to manifest in a human form my divine attributes. So their human minds and intellects could see and remember and be inspired by me within to let my ideas similarly express through and manifest in their human personalities.
so
So
he had to do this sort of as an example, since we didn't know what we were doing at all, and so we needed to have an example through him
right.
of what it meant to be a manifestation of God.
Right. And
And
so that's
he became the example. He became well, it's like in the course, he became the as he said, I'm the only one that can do miracles instrumentally.
yeah,
So in
yeah,
other words, I'm the only one who gets to. I'm the first one here. I'm the only one here, and you guys follow me, and you'll get here too.
right. Right.
So, and then he goes through some specifics here about how he did that, I guess, which perhaps is not as important as the fact that he got here and he showed us how to do it.
Right. But knowing kind of how he did that also is good to help us to know how to do it too, because this is what actually he's asking us. In the eventuality is that we do the same thing
All
and
right, so
become the representatives of him as Christ too. So,
can you go back to that then? Go back to
yeah.
that page.
Okay.
All
All right.
right, so it says, nearly 2,000 years ago, my divine reality, in order to do this and to recall my human attributes. All right, so he wanted to show his attributes on earth
Right.
through
Yeah.
through the body, communicate through the body to other bodies.
Yes. Yeah.
And this way to express through a human personality, through a body, through interaction, manifest a human form, my divine attributes. So their minds
Exactly.
and intellects would see and remember and be inspired by me. So the higher self inspires. So the body is meant to inspire people by showing them the God within that
Right.
manifests in the human personality. So yeah, there's this many more is God incarnated. It's sort of the Christmas story, but we're all it was meant to show what was happening to all of us.
Right. Right. And the point it was and is even now more so with the Course of Miracles, for Jesus saying, all right, I did this so you could see how it was. Now you do it. And
Exactly.
telling us that we have not only are we capable, but that's our divine inheritance.
And then that choice that you make, when you make that choice, that's what is essentially being born again.
Yes.
Because then the awareness lifts the covering, lifts the veil off the truth, which begins to work and guide you. Because that truth is the spirit. The truth is the higher self that we're supposed to get in touch with and helping we get in touch with.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's something of the impersonality instead of the personality.
Right. So, so he says, this I did through the personality of Jesus, the man of Galilee, picturing to the human understanding by my teachings given through him and by my life manifested by him what was necessary in order to express fully my divine idea. I showed by the experiences of a symbolic nature through which I caused his human personality I created for such purpose to pass, what all personalities must pass through before you. My human attributes, who created these personalities, can again become impersonal enough to be conscious expressors of me within my divine idea. So yeah, so the whole point is that we become like him, and instead of having a personality we become the impersonal Christ that we are, and
Yeah,
the impersonal just expression of God.
we allow ourselves to essentially wake up from the personality. That's the whole idea.
Exactly.
Wake up from the personality into the impersonality of Christ. And the cross or the death of Jesus and resurrection is the death of the personality, the death of human personality into the personality of Jesus. Is what she says here. Because my teacher, somewhere he says, yeah, thus I did the personality of Jesus, the man of Galilee. So his personality is the divine, is the personification of the impersonality of God on earth.
Yes,
So it's about as close as you can get probably to the impersonality of the Father. You have Jesus. And
because it wasn't a man expressing himself, it was a God being expressed through the body and
right.
the voice of a man.
And the closest you can get would be that, as you said, I am the atonement. So we want to get to that place where, and of course he did it already. So all we can really do is allow ourselves to be essentially, in a sense, taken over by him. Allow,
Yeah,
and that's the whole point. Allow the spirit to take over.
right. And that and the personality has to go,
Yeah.
and then all that's left is the impersonal.
And it doesn't mean your personality in the sense that you're a joy to be around, or you're just suddenly you become a spiritual person. Suddenly you're, oh, dude,
Well, you just
I have
stop.
no personality. I have no personality. Just means that you don't have any. You're aligned. Your will is aligned with God's will, since God's will is the only will.
Right. Because what you just described was a personality also. It just was
Right, right.
personality of so you actually become the what you truly are, which is
Exactly. Whoever you are, happen to be, I don't know, but
the divine being.
a source of joy and love.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
okay.
So I showed you really all of you. Right.
All right, yeah, I showed by the experiences of a symbolic nature through which I caused his human personality I created for such purpose to pass, which means I allowed him to die or I
Right.
let him die,
Right.
what all personalities must pass through before you, my human attributes. I guess that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I think he's saying it. We were just saying. Our
Yeah,
human
yeah,
personality we have to wake up from that, totally let it go on the
yes,
cross. So we wake up from it as resurrected impersonalities.
right. Okay, can again become impersonal enough to be conscious expressors of me with my divine idea.
So there it become impersonal enough. That's it.
Yes,
Yeah, so not totally impersonal. We're not woken up from the dream, but we're woken up in the dream.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different thing
Oh, yeah.
to wake up in the dream than to wake up from the dream.
Yeah. From the dream,
So,
that's something we should try to do.
yeah,
It's like the difference between saying I know the sun's going around the earth, and seeing the sun going around the earth. I mean, I know the sun's not going around the earth. I see the sun not going around the earth. You can't. You have to see the sun going around the earth. The eyes do what the eyes see.
yeah,
And so you're going to see it, and so you're going to know the truth, and let the truth take over.
yeah.
And then, so when you see something that's not true, or when you're dealing with your divine self compared to your physical self, there's just a lot of things will be what they are, and the truth is shape things for you. The one big question is what would it take for all of us to give up management of ourselves and give up to the divine self?
I'll tell you what, it would take a heck of a lot. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because I'll tell you a story that you may or may not. I don't even know how you would think about this, but I have for the last, you know, several years been very unhappy about certain political figures in our country. And the things that they were either doing or wanting to do or expressing or I've been looking at them and thinking, these are really bad guys and really doing, going to do some bad stuff. But I have another friend who also studies A Course in Miracles who thinks that they're great guys and that they're doing wonderful things. And, so I was listening to her the other day and she was saying, "Oh, yes, they just want to make things better. You can't argue with somebody who's just trying to do the best thing and make things better. You can't argue with somebody who just wants everybody to, have everything and be happy and whatever."
Right.
She was going on about this and I'm like, that is not the person I think talking about because that person does not want that. Okay, so
Right.
I was like really, going into a place there with that.
Right.
But then I'm like, how can I help, change this? I was loving that she was so happy and loving and just so joyful about what she saw happening in the world. I didn't want to tell her, hey, this is a hell. Why you say this? This is hell. I'm like going through all this thing in my mind. And then I heard, Jesus just said to me directly, "Lynn, don't you trust me?"
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Just let them just be
uh,
supportive. Just be supportive.
yeah, I don't trust you, Jesus, because I think we're gonna go to hell. But he's telling me, no, things are not going to hell. I'm not going to let you fall. I'm
Yeah,
not going to let anything go. Nothing is happening here.
yeah.
Just trust me.
That's the hardest thing to do. Because it really is hard, because basically what you're saying is allow the body just to do what it does.
Yeah.
It's really what you're saying. Because the body is either going to be under the influence or under the obedience to the Holy Spirit or the ego.
Yep.
So if you're under the spirit, then you don't have to tell it what to do. Because you can just let the spirit be told what to do by this. I mean, the body to be told what to do by the spirit. However, if you give it to the ego is always telling you you're in charge. You
That's
have to
right.
make the decisions by yourself. You're on your own, and
Yep.
then eventually you're gonna die. You don't have much time. You better get to it.
Yep.
Go, 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 push, 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 like in the Willoughby thing. Push, 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 push. It's all about it.
Yeah.
So, but if your spirit, so the body is always like, oh, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? So the body, however, if it's under the spirit, whatever it wants to do, it can do. It's allowed because it knows whatever it does. It's like a little kid who's dependent upon his parents, and it knows he can do whatever he wants, or a dog.
Yeah.
Totally safe, a safe environment.
Totally safe. Totally safe. And you
Yeah,
can trust. And the fact that I was not trusting and I was in so much fear just told me who I was listening to completely. The Holy Spirit would never tell you things that would make you afraid.
no,
And so, when I was listening to my friend and thinking, no, you should be afraid. You should really be afraid. I mean, it was just the opposite. I was like trying to make God wrong, trying to make, because there's really nothing happening in this world. This is a dream, like you
yeah,
said.
of
This
course.
is a dream. So, you know, do I am I do I not trust that everything is under control and nothing can go wrong?
Yeah, nothing's ever. God is in total control. Anything from this personal life and anything from what we've been saying over the years is that God is in total control of everything.
Yeah,
Goodness is in total control. God is good. God is goodness. And if you look at it that way, God's always here because goodness does exist. So says God doesn't exist. I say, all right, how about goodness? Does that exist? Does good exist? Well, yeah, there's goodness in the world. Well, goodness is omnipresent. Goodness is omnipotent. It's all powerful. The fact that you don't see it has nothing to do with it. That's on you.
exactly.
That it's your
Exactly.
responsibility to see it. And once you start looking at it, you realize how powerful it is. And you realize, well, some people actually are good. It's not that special. They just they ripped the crap out of their soul and saw the really good stuff underneath it.
Yeah, yeah. And they're not looking at anything and saying this scares me because there's nothing to be afraid of. They're not
No.
looking at anything and saying, "Oh, the future is going to be bad." They don't care. There's no future for them. You
Yeah,
know,
and then once they realize that they're projecting everything is just a projection of your inner turmoil, your inner confusion, then everything's it doesn't mean that there's nothing to be afraid of per se. Sure, there's challenges that might surprise you. I mean, I think they know, but you can appeal to people's common sense. Sure, you're not gonna have a life of ease and composure all the time, where everything goes your way. Yeah, I mean, you might have the problems that come up that you have to solve, but so what? Who doesn't? Doesn't mean you have to live life as a terrible, terrible, horrible tragedy. I
no.
mean, you go through things will come up. You'll have your friends, and people will support you, and you'll have a good time in life, and then you move on to the next level.
Yeah. And nothing has gone wrong.
Exactly. And if you find yourself being miserable, change your point of view.
That's it.
Change your point of view because that you can control. That you can control. You can't. It's hard to control people because people are already out there. It's already happened. It's like trying to control a movie through the screen by going to the screen and trying to control it.
Yeah. And why would you?
You're
Sit
insane.
down. Sit down and you watch the dang movie.
You're
You're not
insane.
there.
Yeah. If you want to change some person, you have to do the projector at least, and then do something like,
Eat the popcorn.
yeah, exactly. Eat popcorn and let Jesus do it. Let the Spirit do it. Well,
That's
the
right.
truth is, let anyone do it. It's already happened.
That's right. It's already over. It's
It's already
done.
over. That's why you can't change it. That's why you have to change your point of view and make it have a whole new movie. That's what you have to.
That's right. That's right.
Otherwise, all you're doing is just trying to change this movie that's already have a story. The story's already built in. Your part's already been played.
Yeah,
There's always a beginning, a middle, and an end to everything you're doing out there. Everything you see happening to yourself is a part that always has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So whatever you do is a part of the beginning, middle, and an end. Forget it. We can all just figure it as a beginning. Okay, fine, I get that. A middle, or I'm in the middle. You assume. But with the end, that's a So I'm just walking a path.
yeah. And it's
I'm
already
just,
done.
it's already done. I'm just walking a path. Everything I say is part of that path. Everything I
That's
do,
it.
part of that path. I can't get
Yeah.
off it. I can't get off it.
And when you look back at, when it's all over and it all rolls up and it's gone,
Yeah.
be like, oh,
And every once in a while, it's a joke. Every once in a while, damn, this path is difficult. And it's life. That's life, man. Every once in a while, darn, man. Hey, you want to fly down the staircase? I fell down the stairs, man. It's terrible.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
A surprise. It's
Yeah,
always a
it's a
surprise.
surprise.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So nothing to be afraid
Yeah.
of. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Okay. So want me to continue reading?
Yeah.
Okay. All of you, he's talking to us, my human attributes before the I am can awaken your human minds to a realization of me. Your divine self must be born of a virgin love in a humble manger, the place where the cattle come to feed. And in parentheses, the humble and contrite heart filled with faith and trust in God, to which state the human or animal nature must come. So he wants us to become humble, right?
Yes,
You
very
must
humble.
then be taken into Egypt, the land of darkness, or intellectual activity, which is what this
He goes
is,
to.
the land of darkness.
Yeah, yeah, the is who was it called it? I forget, but someone called this the vegetable world.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
lowest form of I don't think he meant vegetables either. He meant like totally paralyzed them. Was like, nothing happens here.
yeah, yeah.
He was making fun of the world. Is what he was doing. It was not funny.
Yeah, we're like that snail going back to the door.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah. Hey,
Over
what's your problem?
there. What's your problem?
3 years later.
That's hilarious. That's a dad joke. All
Yeah,
right.
that sure is. I'm a
Okay.
dad. Oh,
All right. Okay. So you must then be taken into Egypt, the land of darkness or intellectual activity, there to grow and thrive in body and understanding until you become strong with the feeling of me within. Then, when you are sufficiently conscious of my power and my love, will I begin to speak through you words of wisdom and truth, which will confound the learned of the world, even the doctors of the law. Then will follow a long period of study and meditation, which ripens the mind and develops the soul until you arrive at full maturity of the I am consciousness within, and which prepare you for your baptism in the Jordan, when you will be open completely to me, to the full consciousness that you and I are one, that there is no separation, that I am your real self, and I am henceforth permitted wholly to direct your lives. Well, I'm just going to stop right here because is this something he's talking about happens in one lifetime? Uh,
I think he's shooting for one lifetime. I don't think he talks about well, put it this way. He hasn't mentioned reincarnation yet.
yeah, yeah. And I'm just thinking, wow, I mean, he's really honestly expecting that in this lifetime, I'm going to be 72 in a couple of weeks here. So, I still got time.
You have time. Well, the question is, to what extent do you feel you've already reached?
I don't even know because,
Uh, I mean, he speaks. One of the things that's done a lot here is that it's very heavy language. It's
yeah,
almost as if he's using language to beat you over the head with it. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
and remember, and you can he uses doctors of the law. It basically just means people who are well studied and well learned,
yeah,
in teachings of different teachings. So, but that's a biblical term. So I think he's doing that a lot. He's using different terms. This is what it plunges into our head. So I bet you if you sort of look at this in its more basic terms, you might find that a lot of it is actually very basic to our own spiritualities. Make sense?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like the way he speaks is very Jesus, if it's Jesus or the voice, the spirit here is very, very specific to almost a certain audience.
Yeah.
And his desire, it seems, is to make sure that it's memorable. And a very he's reaching out in a very memorable way. It's almost like he's hyperbole, a lot of hyperbole, which is in the traditional Judeo-Christian spirituality is very common.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even just from the very beginning of biblical times, the land of milk and honey, and the very end of it, the lake of fire. That's why these things last. They have all these pictures. He's very pictorial in his presentation. A lot of word pictures. When you're reading this, you have a very mystical feel to the
Make
whole thing.
sure it's memorable.
All right. Hang on. I'm just checking to see if I can be heard, if I'm being heard.
Reaching out in a very memorable
I hear
way.
you.
I know you can hear me. I'm just wondering if people on Paltalk can hear me.
Oh,
All right. I'm going to mute my mic here real quick.
Let me read
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm being heard.
The very enemy, the lake of fire.
I just heard myself saying something. So
that's a small difference in time. That's time.
I just see
loop.
people coming in and out of Paltalk, and I'm like, are they coming out, leaving because they're not hearing sound, or what's
No,
this?
just don't want to hear it. That's all.
Oh.
Whatever interesting.
Oh yeah. Heck with this stuff.
Exactly.
It's too much for me.
Maybe this is the course.
So yeah, so he's talking about okay, I mean, I don't, I don't even know if I can be to the point where he was talking about earlier, which is kind of like the development of trust in A Course in Miracles, how it talks about it. So
I think it's the same thing as the course, though. I don't feel like I'm anywhere near an advanced teacher. I mean, there's a lot more to go for me. That's why I'm always concerned about, not concerned, I shouldn't say concerned. That's why I'm always wondering the next life if I'm not going to be back on and back here. I mean, I think, however, my thing is I do believe that I'm just going to go back to my own timeline. I don't see why I should go through the whole other body. I just don't buy it. I'm like, I'm going to go back to my own timeline and make a few different choices and see where they lead me. That would be the only reason why I come back, which could be a choice on my part, as opposed to being something I'm thrown into. Does that make sense? And
yeah,
that's sort of what I don't say that because I don't feel like I'm anywhere near where the course would like to present me.
right.
But I could be wrong. I mean, that's where I'm coming from. I don't want to put myself.
Yeah, there's no
Well,
way
they
for
said,
us to know.
yeah. Someone said to me, "Are you an advanced teacher?" Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm an advanced teacher. So I don't even. I've been acting for 30 years. I don't even call myself an advanced actor. So
Yeah.
why would I be in 20 years? I've been doing the course for a long time too. But I don't know. I feel there's a lot more to go, especially when my teacher is Jesus
Well, yeah. I
and he
mean,
beat death. I know that's unexpected of me, but still, let's face it. I have a lot more to go if he's my example. And
well, yeah, yeah, but I mean, he tells us that's why we have A Course in Miracles, because he tells in the Course in Miracles, yeah, you could do this too. So why would he tell us we could do it? I mean, that's why, when he said to me the other day, Lynn, don't you trust me? You know,
right.
I mean, that's it,
Oh yeah. Oh, we can definitely do it. I just don't know when.
yeah, yeah. So,
I mean,
but
we raise the dead. We all this stuff we can do, and I believe that. I don't think it's just metaphorical. I think we can do it.
yeah, I mean,
But in one lifetime, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm talking about me.
well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's on my way. No, I'm not raising the dead. But he tells us that in the course. If you're not healing the sick and raising the dead, moving mountains is because you think there's an order of difficulty in
right,
miracles.
right,
Because
exactly.
you think that there's some things that are harder to do than others.
Yep.
And it's no harder for us to raise the dead than it is to forgive an enemy
Yep.
or to listen to the voice for God. We have the opportunity to do that. And he says if you're not hearing the voice for God, it's because you're not listening. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
you know,
It's on you. It's on you, as I said before.
right.
If you're not accessing the miracles, if you're not accessing God, then it's on you. Oh, my battery's low. Hold on.
Right. Yeah.
I had to put my battery in. Oh, I totally forgot. I'm about to lose all power. Oh no. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. All good.
Okay.
It's just you're about to lose power. Okay, so you want to go on?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
or
checking.
stop.
I was
Wait, I
checking to
don't.
see if I had any messages. I was hearing dinging on my phone, but
I think that was me. Oh, your phone? Or your phone? Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
my phone. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm thinking anyway. So maybe it was. Maybe I thought it was me, but it was it through the speaker.
yeah, maybe because my phone, my computer just went bloom, bloom.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then maybe that was not me.
So
Okay,
maybe.
so maybe it was you.
Who
Maybe it was
knows?
that. Okay, so he says, I then lead you out into the world, called in my other revelation, the wilderness.
Ah.
There, where's okay, the wilderness, there to try you and make you strong and to accustom you to the impersonal use of my divine attributes. I bring you three great temptations of power, self-righteousness, and money until you have proven that nothing of the intellect, nothing of the self, nothing from without can tempt you to forget me within, and that my voice and mine alone, whether speaking in your heart or in the hearts of your brothers, is the only voice you're now capable of hearing. That's what I was
I'm
saying.
not sure. I'm not sure if I've reached that point yet. No,
But
those three areas. I mean, no power, was it no power?
power,
Uh,
money, okay, nothing of the intellect, nothing of the self, nothing, oh, let's see, temptations of power, self-righteousness, and money.
all right. So I have to admit that I still would like to have power sometimes.
Uh-huh, and I
And
have
I can
to
feel
admit
it.
I'm self-righteous a lot of
Yeah,
times.
and money is something I still need.
Yeah, and but money is something I don't worry about so much now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like I'm trying to get money or anything.
yeah.
It's
Who-
like money is something that is just, coming along as surprisingly. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that
Well,
self-righteousness, who, man,
yeah, yeah,
do I
yeah.
ever want to be right?
Yeah, of course. All three of those is mine.
Yeah,
Power is probably the least of
yeah,
my problem. I don't really go out looking for power. I mean, let's put it this way, this is the least conscious problem I have. It could be the very primary problem I have, for all I know. It's been on your psychological point of view,
yeah.
power, but I don't consciously go after power over people.
See, I realize that I do a lot.
Oh, really?
Like I'm always telling people, you should do this way.
Well,
You
it's
shouldn't
best
have
say,
done that.
I don't know where you do that. We don't do that here.
No, I do that with my life with my family,
Oh, I see,
with
I
my
see.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm even looking at watching the news and seeing what people are doing on the news, and I'm like, if I was in charge, you'd be doing something different, and
well, yeah,
I'm gonna, I really, whether or not I am able to have that power, that's one thing, but I want that power, that's for sure.
yeah.
I would
That's
love to,
that's my problem. That's my savior. I don't like to watch the news because I know I get very judgmental quickly. That's number one, and I know that I could never ever have that power. If I had that power, first of all, I'd screw the whole thing up. I might not be as mean and nasty as some of these guys, but I sure would be incompetent.
yeah. Oh,
I did have some good people around me to keep me organized. Let's put it that way.
yeah, and you think about, well, if I ever got into a position like, I had a lot of money or was able to do, or got elected to something or whatever, but you wouldn't do those things that you think you would because there are a lot of other pressures on
Right,
you
exactly.
that you
And
don't even know about until you get in that position.
yeah, and it's the people who are, what was the Plato's comment? He said, those of us that are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber.
That's it. That's it. That's
So,
it.
and that's the issue. We have a lot of people out there that basically that's their main issue for them. Okay, so take care. That's what it is for them. It's power. They want power.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, basically, power has to be because it's the money too. They want money, but they're really looking for power because they want votes. When you want votes and you're persuading people to vote for you, then you're selling yourself. And if you say, I'm better than that person, the whole thing is competitive power.
Right. And that it's all based on something we don't even know.
Exactly.
Because, if
And
I had any idea, what the future was going to be, I might be able to be a competent leader, but I don't have any idea what's even happening now. So,
No,
you
I
know,
have no idea. I have
I
no
don't think
idea.
anybody does.
Well, although I do know here in Chicago, they just arrested 900, almost 1,000 people. ICE.
That's what they said, and I don't know if that was all in Chicago. I know that they did.
I mean, that's
That's
what I
what,
heard. I mean,
yeah. But there's
there's
so much rumors out, and there's so much misinformation being put out. But I know they have been taking people because they took people to Colombia, and they've taken people. They're uh, first I've heard that I mean, this is just crazy, but I don't even want to go into all the craziness because, to me, it's insane thinking, and to other people, that's the smartest thing we could do. But I would really like to see because we just recently had a big hurricane in South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia. A lot of places were destroyed along the coast over there, homes and villages, towns, whatever. And then we just had these big fires in California, and all these homes are burned down, and all this area has been burned down. And who's going to come and reconstruct all that stuff?
yeah,
The people who do that kind of work in general are like these immigrants who
it's
are
crazy.
not going to be here. Who's going to build your house? Who's going to put the roof on? That's why I talked to my sister the other day, and she goes, yeah, there's, if you get a roof put on over here, it's all these Mexican guys coming over and putting on your roof. I'm like, yeah, and who's going to be putting on your roof when when
Well,
they're
that's the
not?
thing. Well, that's the thing. The nativists is the issue. The nationalists, and so
Yeah,
it's people that deserve the jobs here because they're American, even if they don't work as hard, and even if they. But people overseas can become Americans, and they're more motivated.
yeah, yeah,
They're more motivated to work, and they want to work for less money. And
right.
I'm not saying ripping them off. You have to pay them well by the law, whatever the law is. But you pay them so that they'll work for within the law, work for less money, and they work harder.
Yeah, yeah.
So why should you be forced? Why should businesses be forced to pay just somebody who works for less for more money and not as hard, not as motivated?
Yeah, yeah, and that's
I mean, that's usually how it works. I don't really know. That seems to be logical that if you can make people who want to work harder and they want to become Americans, then this is also good for the people who are already Americans will work harder too.
what I heard, and this may actually happen, is that they're going to replace these migrant workers with prisoners.
Oh, that's interesting.
So,
I guess
because they're just sitting around in jail all day anyways.
that's
So
not a
you
bad.
might as well give them a job. You
Yeah,
know,
that's I guess the big companies probably they may not like that because they probably work for free or very little money.
very little money because they're prisoners. And
Yeah,
but slavery is illegal in this country,
yeah.
except
So.
if you're a prisoner.
Yeah,
So,
they pay him $1 then.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, they want to go to the dispensary. They go, it was a deal today. You get this for $1. Why you have to pay $1? How stupid is that? Or you have to pay. You have to pay for something. You have to pay
right.
something. We give it to you for free. Oh, I see. So similar to that.
Yep, nothing for free. Yep.
Nothing for free. So they'll pay some. Yeah, well, I guess
Oh, man.
if they do that, then they gotta be careful. As you know, they have the right to vote, and all the Republicans will be voted out.
Yeah, well, we'll see that, huh? I have
Most,
a feeling there's going to be a big swing back,
I
in
hope
the
so,
next election in 2 years when they
because
have the Congress
he's
and stuff.
really he's gonna pass some nasty bills so far. He's
Yeah,
trying
or
to.
trying to,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's trying to.
yeah. So we'll see,
Listen, we'll see.
we'll
But
see.
anyhow, but as you said, he's a president. God's in control of everything, and that
Right,
once you realize that it's like it was like the best that I heard was that I always refer to Job because Job is a pretty good representation. You have God approving of what Job has done. I mean, what's happening to Job, and
right,
if you look at God is good, then goodness has approved it somehow. And that was why the friends of Job, who were blaming Job, were condemned. It was almost God was saying, no, he's not guilty. The whole point was he's innocent. That's why he was blamed. That's why it happened to him.
The wife holds a household registration.
sorry,
So,
my thing was going off there.
that's
Yeah,
why it happened to him because of his innocence.
That's right.
You're sitting there telling him he's guilty, just support him.
Yeah.
Just be there for him, and then let it be between me and him. And so that's and that and then and Satan, he was told that he could do this. So therefore, it was all everything under the approval, everything under the watchful eye, everything's really being controlled by God.
Yeah. By God. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing really to be scared of
Yeah.
because there really are no major stakes. It's like when he said this is unfair, God said, "Where were you when I made the stars?"
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you worried about? I mean, did you make the stars? Did you make the planets? Did you make the seas, the oceans? Did you? No, I made them. So I obviously made you, and I made the situation that you're in. And then at the end, he got everything back.
Yeah. And
That's
see, that's what we're complaining about. Oh, I lost this in my life, and exactly as you just said, where were you when I made the stars? That's a great speech he does there in that
oh
section.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He said, get up, stand up, and talk to me." And where were you when I made the stars? And he goes, "I'm forever." And then the end Joe goes, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Yeah. Geez, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. He was dust and ashes or something like that. He's like,
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
sorry about that. But that's an old story too. It's supposedly it's as old almost as Genesis.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, as Eden, the Garden of Eden story. It's a
yeah.
very old story.
One of the oldest ones there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so here he's going to be talking about this stuff. He says, "This proven, there will begin the period of performing miracles and of teaching the multitude, accompanied by the revilement and persecution of the unbelieving and scoffing world, followed by the trial before Pontius Pilate, the representative of the worldly law, the sentence, the ascent of Calvary, carrying the cross, the being nailed upon the cross, the agony, the 3 days in the tomb, and then the final resurrection when you enter into complete union with me, all of which has its inner meaning or soul application, and which should be readily understood by you if you have opened your heart to me." So he's talking about all the tribulations that we go through in the world,
Yep.
and being unfairly treated and having, eventually, dying, actually, all this stuff. He says, you're going to go through all that.
Yep.
Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
certainly
no big deal.
it's no big deal. It's like because you're gonna wake up in Christ. You're gonna wake up in God. It's like I have dreams where I've died. I had a dream where I died. I don't remember this dream. The funny thing is I don't remember how I died. I remember dying and being in a place where some sort of afterlife place. It was death. And I was saying, "Ah, I was died. This is where you go when you die." I guess so. Other
Not too
people were
bad.
there. It was a little hallway, and it was just it seems what's going to happen here. You die and you go somewhere else.
Yeah,
So what's the problem? I mean,
that's a big deal. Yep. Yeah. It's quite a
resurrection,
big
but
deal.
you'll enter into union with Christ. That's where you end up. You die. The next thing you open your eyes and you're in heaven.
Yep.
I mean, that's whatever heaven is. The next level of consciousness, a higher level of bliss. And where else would you go?
Where else would you go? Exactly. So he says, "Such has been the way in the past for you and for all who have studied and followed my teachings given forth in my former revelations. Now the time has come when I have prepared you and many for a new dispensation, wherein you can enter in the consciousness of me direct and at once by the impersonal way. Those who are big enough and strong enough to throw off all chains of the human personality, and who can say, 'I am,' and know I am the one within who gives them this strength and enables them to rise above the attractions and influences of the outer world, those are the ones I have chosen through whom to express all the wondrous glories of my divine idea." And that's you and me, Wayne.
Yep, it's us. It's us. We are the divine manifestations of the perfect one.
Yep.
Those who are big enough to throw off all the claims of the human personality, and they can say, "I am," and know that I am one within. I am the one within. That is us. That's who we are, and we are the Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, the problem is that we function in a world that we made to not function.
Right.
We made it to be the opposite of our true nature. And
But it doesn't matter because, it-
but okay, that's the point. So something was wrong. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Oh, that's how the world was made. We made the world as an attempt as an attack
yeah,
on God. So everything that we do that's good here is a way of saying this world's real. It's our way of saying I need to do this, so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Whenever you think you have to do something, you're saying, I'm desperate to get this done. I need to get this done. I have to do this. You're saying, all right, I have to compete. I have to do that. So now things are hard and difficult.
and he's
Uh,
talking about the impersonal way.
yeah, that's what we express. I mean, it's the personal way. Personal means separation,
Yeah, yeah,
as opposed to oneness. The Christ or the I am kind of the next thing.
yeah.
9 minutes left.
Okay, I can read this.
All right.
Okay. The Christ or the I am consciousness must be born in your heart and in the heart of every human personality, must grow and thrive and pass through in some manner every experience symbolized in the life of Jesus. Well, this is interesting, before you can come to this point and become a conscious expresser of me, of my divine idea. The example of the Christ, love and compassion, which I expressed in that life, must you also express in some degree in your life, before you can taste the fruits of that love, which in reality is not love, but the holy three in one, love, wisdom, power. That is the true expression of my impersonal life.
This is power is something that we will see expressed, it seems. But
Yes,
it's the power of Jesus, the power of God, the power of love, wisdom, and power of God, or the Holy Spirit, as opposed to the power of our power. It's the personal power.
right. And all we have to go through some kind of symbolic
Yeah.
like Jesus did, but it may not be the same. Obviously not.
No, well, it's symbolic for us. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, we don't. Well, not necessarily. It's symbolic until the very end of our lives, until it becomes very real.
yeah,
Until eventually it becomes with the old lady. It becomes very, and then Barbara Redford. It becomes very real for the when the body has to leave, or it will
right,
be. Then suddenly it becomes very real because you're about to leave physically. But up to that point, it's all symbolic.
right, right,
Up to that point, the death is the death of any of your issues, the death of any of your emotional issues, mostly emotional and spiritual. And then your viewpoint can change and your life can change. And anytime that would be the waking up from death.
I could say that you and I both have been through and are constantly going through all of these same trials and tribulations that have to do
Yeah.
with I mean, you dreamt about dying. Have you ever thought you were going to die? You thought you were dying? How many times have I thought I am going to die now?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And I mean, how many times has my life been transformed against my will or against my seeming will? I fought it.
yeah,
I mean, I've had my life turned upside down when I was diagnosed. I left the country when I was diagnosed.
yeah,
And then and it gets worse and worse. It's progressive. It keeps on getting worse. I'm always fighting it. It's not as if
right,
I can't get comfortable with it and say, all right, I finally get comfortable with it because it's hard to get comfortable with when it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
right, right,
You have to. I'm on guard. It's just something subtle. It's not like it gets worse over a week. Hey, I'm still here. I am still here. So it's you have to fight. You have to fight. But anyhow, so yeah, I would say that. But there's a lot of people have those problems.
right.
So the key is
Right.
how do
Yeah,
so but that's fine. That just means most people are expressing Christ.
are
They just,
expressing Christ and experiencing these trials and tribulations so
and,
that we can see beyond them and become true expressions of the
right.
impersonal life.
The only question is, how many people realize this?
Well, not many.
And that's why the road's narrow. I mean, most people probably are going through trials and tribulations. We know that. most people are expressing Christ, whether they know it or not.
Yeah,
I would just say most people might not know it, and so they're not getting the benefits of it emotionally.
exactly.
And so there's no peace there. I mean, I can do. It's almost like you ever take antidepressants, and 2 years into it, you say, you know what, I'm very happy, but I get nothing done. Yeah, I wish I was doing more. Well, as you get older, you realize you're doing what you're doing when you get older. It's not much change as you get older. And you either be peaceful about life or you're not going to be peaceful.
Yeah,
You're going to love life, you're not going to love life. You have to figure out how to love life. Now, there might be a lot of change for all you know, but it's going to happen to you if God decides to happen, it's going to happen to you. Or you're going to make change. That in of itself might be part of a struggle.
yeah,
So
might be
yes,
everything.
yeah, it could be. So the key is make peace, inner peace, and that's got to come from the higher power. And then it's the love, wisdom, and power, and that's the Holy Trinity according to what he's saying here.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I never really thought about it this way. So
And that's a good cheer too with a beer in your hand. There's the love, wisdom, and power.
yeah,
I like that.
it's the love and wisdom and power.
Yeah. So we should probably stop there, right? We've only a
Yeah,
few
I'm
minutes
going to
left.
just mark it here because we might read this paragraph again next week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. I have a song I want to play. Is there
Oh,
time?
good. Yay. I would love to
Uh,
have a song.
It's a song that kind of reps. It's very well. I have to share sound here. Very well wraps up the level one. I'm sorry, level two. Um, the temporal realm, I guess, the temporal world, and how the ups and downs of this world, and what we're talking about, these trials and tribulations of this world, in a way that's not very hard to listen to. Put it that way.
Oh,
So,
good.
it's called "That's the Way the World Goes Round" by John Prime.
I got glue on my string. That's the way that the world goes round.
I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused, got muscles in his head, ain't never been used. Thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose. Then he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch wider and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. I was sitting in the bathtub, counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak. When the sun come through the window, the ice all broke. I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch wider and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round.
the way the world goes around. That's the way it goes
I
around.
love it.
You know the song?
Very cute.
Yeah, this is what goes around, man. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. It's okay. They were a little roller coaster. So put your hands up in the air.
That's it.
All right, everyone. Well, that was fun. God bless us. Miracles everywhere. It's Wayne Sales, River Wayne Sales. Thank you, Audrey, for being here. And Zuma, if you're here, you feel hear us. Thank you for being here too. And everyone in Pal Talking on the radio. And Lynn, an absolute pleasure as usual.
Absolutely. I love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you too. And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll both be here. Audrey and I will be here tomorrow to BS about
Yay.
Anxiety to Love. Anyone who's interested in that book, it's by Corinne Zipka, and it's From Anxiety to Love, a radical new approach for letting go of fear and finding lasting peace. And it's a great book about the Course of Miracles to come by. Check it out. Okay.
Wow, look at that. She's manifesting birds.
Yes, that's hilarious. Look at that.